202, Nate Conor rematch. Does that go any different the second time?
I don't. I think it's the same punch. I think it's the same way, the same punch. And everybody goes, oh, man. In my head, I think so. I think the same exact punch. Conor does the same exact movement. And I just feel it maybe goes the same way. I don't. When you look at the first fight, Conor, to me, was winning the whole fight. If you cannot continue to win for 3 rounds, then how are you going to deal with any kind of adversity? Let's say Nate starts dominating. How are you going to bounce back from that and deal with the adversity and come back from losing if you can't even win for 3 5-minute rounds? That's why I say all the time, I just don't feel like he's a championship fighter. I feel like he's a great athlete, and he's good at the things he does. He's a specialist at. But as far as championship fighter, where you can dig deep and get taken down and get beat up and come back from it, I just don't think that's in him.
Yeah, I think that's a fair analysis. I also think it goes the same way, taking Conor at his word. You know, what Conor's response to this was, look, I wasn't efficient with my energy. And that's a really nice way of saying I got tired and I quit. And
you're exactly
right. He kind of coded that, but we all knew it, and that's important. You know, in fight, that is what happens. We either get hurt and we quit, or we get tired and we quit. There's nothing else that makes us stop. So you're trying to do that to your opponent. So Conor said, "Look, I'm going to come out and I'm going to be more efficient with my energy," which again is a fancy way of saying I'm not going to be as active, and I'm going to try to stretch 7.5 minutes over 25 minutes. And I'm going, well, time out a second, because he is that RDA type fighter that comes out, he swarms you, a Vitor Belfort, if you will. He comes out, he swarms you, and then usually the guy can't take it and he's gone. But should it go deep, he's got problems. And I'm going, wait, if you're going to take your biggest skill away, which is your aggression and the fact that you jump on guys and hurt them and get them out of there, you're working against yourself. And in no scenario, Eddie, can you take 7.5 minutes of energy. I don't care if you're in the gym every day, twice a day, eating, just doing everything right. In a 3-month period, you can't make 7.5 minutes go 25. You might get to 7:50. But if your max is 7 minutes and 30 seconds, that does not become 5 full rounds in any scenario within 90 days. It doesn't work that way.
You just repeated what I said 2 days ago to the media. In boxing, with guys who box, they start off 4-rounders, and then a year later they might do 6-rounders, and then 8-rounders, and then 10-rounders, and then finally they become and flourish into a championship fighter. The reason you start off at 4 rounds and end up in 12 rounds 5 years later is because the body needs to get used to working at that rate for that period of time. You can't do it in a 6-month period. You can't become a championship fighter in a 6-month period. Like you said, no matter what you're doing, no matter how long your training hours are, it just don't happen. So you're right. The 7.5 minutes may grow to 8 minutes, 9 minutes, but it damn sure will not grow to 25 minutes. And we'll see what happens in between that time if he's able to overcome and deal with the adversity he's going to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple as that. And the other side of that coin, and again, just if you take guys at their word, I'm taking Conor at his, I'm taking Nate at his. Nate had made a good comment where he said, you know, you don't understand how bad I was in that fight. I found out 9 days before it. I had to make weight. I was on an airplane the very next day beginning the media tour. And he said, and I hadn't sparred in 3 months before. He said, I never put gloves on and threw punches until I was in the ring with Conor. He said, I was just rusty. He said, he kept hitting me with the left hand, and it was hard, and it hurt, and all of that stuff. He said, but I just don't think I'd get hit with that shot had I been in the ring sparring. And that is important to consider, too. A lot of people look at it, and they go, well, Conor did whip him for the first 7 minutes, and that's true. But Nate's side is, hey, that was the worst Nate that's ever been in the ring, and I still found a way to win, and that's also true.
Yeah, and any fighter will know, you don't start getting your timing once you get off that extra layer of body fat that you had on you through your training camp. When you get rid of that, your speed picks up, your timing picks up, and your conditioning picks up. All three of them you start to find yourself, all three of them, toward the end of your camp, when you got rid of all your body fat and you did all your sparring rounds, your eyes get better, your reflexes get better. All them things happen, and you begin to peak toward the end of camp. For the guy to come in on 10 days and just throw down like that and do that to him, yeah, it could get really bad. It could get really bad if you give him more than a month to get ready for this. So, look, it's all MMA math. We'll see. Connor knows what Connor knows. Maybe he'll pull it off. Maybe they don't. I don't care what either one of them do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I got you. All right, Eddie. Hey, man, thank you for your time. I found you on Twitter at Alvarez Fight. It is the real Eddie. If any of you guys want to talk to him, DM him, text him. He does his own Twitter. It's how I personally got in contact with him. Eddie, anything else you want to get off your chest?
Yep, I'm at E Alvarez Fight, and you guys let me know. Twitter me, Twitter Dana. You guys let me know who's next, and we'll get this shit figured out.
All right, you're the man. I'm going to jump on the Alvarez versus Conor bandwagon myself, see if we get something going there. Thanks for your time, Eddie.
My man, thanks.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Joe.
Congrats.